was all downhill waking up this morning.
Hey, I'm Marinna Andriopoulos. I'm an actress, singer, and songwriter from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Spilled my asphalt feet all over myself and saw you on your story with someone else, trying to make me jealous, and it's almost working.
A little over 3 years ago, I started in the entertainment industry and got into music. And since then, songwriting has been such an outlet for me. As a kid growing up, I was never really open with my feelings and talking about my stories. Acting is also something I'm so passionate about. I've been in The Story of God with Morgan Freeman that aired on Netflix.
People and for the sake of the whole world.
According to the legend, in one vision, the Virgin told Bernadette to dig for water in the grotto and to drink it. She dug with her hands but only found muddy water. She drank it anyway.
I've also been nominated for Josie Music Awards for the past 3 years, which I am so incredibly thankful for. I was just recently nominated this year for Rising Star of the Year. For me, I think the people that influenced my music the most was my family and my friends, and I feel like their journeys were also mine. I think Luke Combs probably is one of my biggest people I look up to in the music industry, which is crazy because we actually share a drummer in one of my songs. But I think Luke Combs is so talented, like he cannot write a bad song. I think Taylor Swift is also somebody I look up to and have always for a really long time since I was little. I think her album was the first one I ever listened to, Fearless. So I think she had a lot to do with why I fell in love with music when I was 6 years old, and why I wrote my song when I was 6 years old, my first song.
I heard you saying all those lies about me to everyone else.
As a kid, I was never open about my feelings and never told my stories. I went through it all alone because I never liked making my issues anyone else's. I think the first time I was really vulnerable with people in general was when I wrote More Than Enough. And More Than Enough was a story about me being bullied at a young age, and I know so many people can relate to that. And I think it's so important for everyone to know their self-worth and how important they truly are, which is why I wrote More Than Enough. So another single that I wrote was Just a Great Guy.
And I'm hoping that I will find him soon.
And the whole story behind Just a Great Guy was the feeling of not wanting to be used by a guy and wanting to find that perfect guy. Through that, we filmed a music video that my best friend was actually able to be a part of, and that was such an amazing experience as well. Being able to include some of the closest people in my life with my work, and also being in high school, it was also kind of challenging. I mean, I was going through school and having to do all that, as well as working on my music and my acting and my modeling all at the same time, and it was really a juggle between the two worlds.
I just want a great guy. You taught us how to live. Our future's in our hands. Dear high school.
With Dear High School, everyone was so supportive. All my friends were so willing to be a part of what I do. And I think that truly made me feel inspired to go after what I love even more. All of my friends were so willing to be a part of what I do, and that is something I'll never forget. From the football team to the student section to my best friends to the staff, everybody that was involved. There was so many people that donated for the music video, and it's just such an amazing experience on my senior year, and know that I had the best people by my side throughout that whole entire journey. Miss Tennessee will always be another song that holds a very special place in my heart, and the journey of Miss Tennessee from the very beginning is kind of crazy because I wrote that song by myself in my bedroom, and a few months later I got a call from Tennessee Athletics telling me that it was going to be played at the halftime show at a University of Tennessee football game, which was still so surreal and crazy for me, knowing that that was the first song that I truly put out on my own and wrote on my own, and was able to be a part of the producing and all of the journey leading up to the release. Miss Tennessee is a song I wrote about my hometown and how special it is to me. It tells a story of being able to go for your dreams and leave, but always having a place to come back to and call home, and always having an army to stand in your corner and to stand behind you and be proud of you no matter what. And I finally convinced myself to go and record it after playing it for my guitar teacher, and he said, "You have to finish this, you have to record this is your best one yet." And so I went home that night, finished the rest of the song, and decided that it was a song I wanted to record. And I ended up recording it, and a month later I get a call from Tennessee Athletics telling me that my song is going to be played on the Jumbotron during halftime at a University of Tennessee football game. And at that game, in that moment, I was sitting there listening to Morgan Wallen on the Jumbotron, and then my face flashes up, and I hear my voice in Neyland Stadium for over 100,000 people.
No place I'd rather be. No matter where I go, I'll be cheering for the Vols. I'll always be Miss Tennessee.
I think one of the songs I will always be most proud of from the EP will always remember.
First look across the room, knew it'd be me and you.
I mean, I made it the title track for a reason and named the EP after it because it was so bold. I feel like I've never done that type of thing before, and I don't name drop in songs, I don't, but I may or may not have added the football number in there. It talks about someone's first love. And people listen to the songs and they're like, oh, like you've never had a first love before, you've never had your first boyfriend, and that's not it at all. But when you listen, it talks about the feeling of never knowing that you could feel a love like that, and something being so real. This EP goes through a whole journey from being so in love with somebody to every emotion that you feel throughout heartbreak. It goes from being sad and angry and happy, and in the end wishing someone well and wishing them the best, whether they're with you or not.
I had this vision of your name in mind, hand carved into a tall old pine, and I'm wondering if I dodged a bullet or just lost the love of my life.
I think Wishing You Well is such a good track, just because there's so little to it, yet it tells such an amazing story. That's so important about this EP because it's just so different from any other heartbreak EP or album that you've ever listened
Tell you what
to.
happened, but I hope you're alright and happy now, just not like you were when I was around.
So As a singer-songwriter, some of my future goals are going on tour. I think connecting with my audience live would be so incredible for me as an artist. And I would love to eventually write and record an album and have so many songs that people can relate to and that tell completely different stories than what I have out right now. Again, I'm Marinna Andriopoulos, and I can't wait to continue telling my story and connecting with you, whether it's through new music or the roles I play.